Hello everyone and welcome to the second MC to LC transition for TM.
Yeah, and today's objectives are routines and synergies. So understanding what are the routine and synergies for the LCVPTM, what are the touch points with the commission and with the MCVP, so me, and what are the most important measures of the TM area and what is the timeline that is ahead of us. So first of all, we go to routines. When it comes to the routines, I decided to split between what the TM manages daily, monthly, and once in different times of the year. So when it comes to the things that the TM manages daily, you have checking what is the current status of the HR capacity and retention. So understanding how many people we have in the LC, if anyone left the organization and what is the reason for it. So we have exit talks. Then we have checking the team standard implementation with team leaders and VPs. So are the team standards actually being implemented? Are the team meetings being done? Are the one-to-ones being done? And also based on the focus of your week. So if there is LC meeting, understanding if LC meeting is being successful. And then ICOM and RNR of the LC. So posting on the group of the LC and engaging the people through the reward and recognition system that we were talking about in the previous webinar. Then what does the TM manage weekly? Weekly, we have the MB tool that must be updated by team leaders with the team standard implementation. And we are talking to team leaders if meetings, one-to-ones, working times have been skipped. So understanding based on the update, what are the next steps that we need to take with the team leaders? If something was skipped, what was the reason? And how are we going to make sure that the following week nothing is going to be skipped, and the things that have not been done this week are being done in the following week. Then we have the update of the membership database and of Podio, which is the platform on which there is the membership database. And then we have HR red flags in the teams that might be emerging, need to be assessed. So understanding what are these red flags, what are these bottlenecks that there are in the areas and teams. And they usually emerge during EB meetings when the LCPs are talking about their own areas, or they can emerge also through the individual talks that you have with the VPs throughout the week. So you understand what is something that is being that is creating some problem inside the LC, and what are the next steps that we're going to have based on what is the problem. And one of the next steps can be, for example, visit the team meetings. So for example, if a team is not having team meetings, or the team meetings are not bringing proper results, or if the team is not performing, we can go there and understand what actually the situation is like, because it can be related to the management of the team by the team leader side, and that is something that we need to assess. And then, how is the MAG process? So how is the goal achievement of our members, and the updating, let's say, the synergies that we have. So understanding what are the things that are being done great, what are the things that are not working, so that we don't wait until the end of the week, until the end of the month, to understand what are the things that were not working and we just fix it the month later. But we have this weekly so that we can be more agile in fixing any issue that may come up. And then what does the TM manage monthly? The TM monthly manages the engagement survey completion and analysis. So we make sure that the people are completing the engagement survey, and that we are analyzing it together with the EB and with the MB, so that everyone that is on a team leader or EB position is understanding what is the status of their own teams, of their own areas, and of the LC in general. And we are able to take to focus our areas and the LC on the proper things, to assess the things that are not working in this moment, or that we need to capitalize on. And then we have LC meeting. once or twice a month. It depends, with the whole EB, and is managed together with the whole EB. Then we have MB meeting, also once or twice a month, and this is done with the LCP. Then we have the members achieving their goals review and next steps. So how much of the goals have been achieved, and what are the next steps to ensure that the achievement is going to be higher for the following month. Then we have the retention review and next steps. That is similarly, is just understanding how many people stayed inside the LC and what are the next steps to make sure that the retention in the next week is going to be higher. Team standards review and next steps, which again is just understanding what was the team standard implementation in the LC and what are the next steps, so that in the next month it's either going to stay at the good level where it's at, or it's going to increase if it's not at a proper level. And then synergies. So we have the synergies to actually set the actions that we're going to have together with the VP's operation, with the VP finance, or with any other synergy that we may need to have in that moment. And we understand this, and we make sure that throughout the month we are implementing the action steps that we set. And then we have the status of the education of the LC, so understanding how is the education and what we need to do for the following month to improve the education in case it's needed. Then, what does the TM manage in specific times of the year? We manage recruitment and reallocation in the moments in which recruitment is about to happen. So just before that, and then during the time in which the recruitment campaign is on. And then we have onboarding and LCC with the whole EB. Once the people have been selected and allocated, so we actually have the people, the onboarding process inside the LC, and then we have the local conference, and then the team leaders pipeline and process with the whole EB again. So understanding, building the team leaders pipeline, and then making sure that the people are applying, that the applications are open, and then ensuring a fair process after we receive the applications. And followingly, we have the plan for the education of the LC, and this is something that must be done before the people need to be educated, of course. So before we actually have all the people selected, and before the end of the onboarding. And then we have IXP and RXP campaigns with VPs OGV, GE, or GT. And they are basically IXP campaigns, so integrated experience, so ensuring that a certain percentage or a certain number of the people that we have in the LC are actually going for a project abroad to see how it is to experience directly the products that we are managing as ISEC. And RXP campaigns, so the people that we sent abroad and that are not part of ISEC, maybe, whenever they come back, understanding if they want to be part of ISEC, and especially what can we do during the time when they are there and during the time that they're coming back to make sure that they are willing to be part of ISEC, because they add a great deal to our membership, because they started their experience by actually understanding the product. So they are a great add to the membership of an LC. And then we have the summer engagement plan. What is the summer engagement plan? It's just a plan to raise the engagement of the people that we have inside the LC during the summer, because summer is one of the moments in which the engagement is lower because people are not maybe physically in the LC town. Then we go to synergies. So we understand what are the synergies of the LCPTM. So first of all, we have the Power Corner synergy, which is together with the LCP and with the VP Finance. I don't know if you heard this concept before, but when it comes to the Power Corner, it's basically the three people in the LC, apart from the VPPD, that are working mostly alone because they don't have a structure behind them. They don't have team leaders or members. Sometimes we have coordinators, but it's not something that is always there. So, and also we are the resources of the LC. We are the financial resources, and we are the human resources of the LC, and we are the direction of the LC, which is the LCP. So this is a corner that is called Power Corner, because actually a lot of power is being included in this specific corner of the LC, because it's everything that is used to then build the performance of the operational part. So we have the LCP, and the synergy with the LCP includes the team leaders management, the team leaders commission management, the LC management in general, and the human resources status. So updating the human resources status, the LCP on it, so that the LCP is able to understand what actually is going on inside the LC. Then with the VP Finance, what do? We do budget planning. We plan the recruitment expenditures. We plan some expenditures if we are going to do them regarding the R&R, so the reward and recognition system. So, for example, what can be the prices for some of the people that are performing in the best way inside the LC, and then IXP discounts. What are the discounts that we're giving to the IXP, to the membership that is going on IXP? Then we go to the main synergy that we have, which is the operations and B2C. What do we do together with them? They are the areas that have a structure, that have team leaders and members and coordinators. So what we need to ensure is that they are managing properly their structures, and so we have a lot of things to make sure that this is happening. So together we manage IXP and RXP that are only for the VPs, OGV, GE, and GT for obvious reasons. And then we have the management of the structure in general of the team leaders, team members, and coordinators. What are the things that are needed to improve the management? How is the management being done? So we need to assess this and to understand together with them what is the best way to improve it based on the things that we actually use as TMs, which are the TM processes, which are the team standards, etc. Then we have the structures plan and the recruitment selection and allocation. So together we understand what kind of structure do we want to have inside each area, and then we run the selection and the allocation of the people once there is recruitment. And then we have the education plan for the structure. So it's something that we understand together so that we can give feedback if they have already an idea, or we can create it together. And then we go to the part of team standards, so ensuring that the team standards inside each area, inside each operational area and the B2C area are being implemented, both between the VP and the team leaders and between the team leaders and members, because both of these teams are teams, so they need team standards. And then members achieving their goals and productivity, so understanding what inside each area, how is the percentage of the goal achievement of the members, and what is the productivity. And then the talent capacity, retention rate, and pipeline is something that we manage together. So how many people actually there are, how many people stayed, and how many people are going to apply for further leadership positions. And this is something that we need to assess together and to create next steps to make sure that it's these three things are at its best. And then we have the engagement survey fulfillment and analysis. So making sure that the whole structures are fulfilling the engagement survey, and we're gathering this data.
And for this, we can also be helped by the VP's operation and B2C, and making sure that also when it comes to the analysis, actually, we are not the only ones that are analyzing the data that we are getting, but we're doing it all together with the LCVP's operation and B2C, because then they will be the one that need to implement changes inside their structures. So they need to make sure that they are reading everything that their people are saying. And then we have ICOM and R&R. So when it comes to ICOM and R&R, it's basically ensuring that there is a certain routine of R&R and of reward and recognition and of internal communication posts, etc. And if it's needed, it also needs to be synergized with operations so that we're making posts on topics that are important for operation and B2C. And when it comes to the R&R, actually that there were setting measures that make sense when it comes to the performance of the areas. And then when it comes to the last point, we have also recruitment promotion, which is only only with B2C. Why? Because they are helping us in the part of attraction of recruitment. And then we have one last, which is PD. So when it comes to the synergy of PD, what are the topics? It's trainings. So in case they are well able to do sales, etc., they can deliver trainings for, especially for IGV sales. And then also it can be with partners. So partners can deliver trainings inside the LC. And then when it comes to gadgets, also, if we have some partners that are giving us gadgets, this is another topic. And then HR for ambassadors program, because of course, ambassadors program is done by PD, but the people that are gonna be involved are people from that can be from the LC. So we need to synergize on this topic to open the application, to promote it inside the LC. And finally, recruitment support and venues, in case there is any partner that can help us when it comes to the recruitment, and especially when it comes to the venues for the LCC. So if they can offer a venue. Then we talked about the synergies. We talked about the routine of the LCPTM. We go to the touch points with the commission or with me. So when it comes to the whole commission, we have a weekly newsletter. So a newsletter that is going to be posted on the Facebook group, and it's going to be weekly with some question to answer. And then we have conferences and summits, of course, and then monthly call, which is the monthly commission call that we were also talking about. We are going to have this commission call with all the LCVPs TM once a month, and then commission icon, so various posts that also are going to be posted in the Facebook groups, and slash or some things that will be written inside the WhatsApp group that we're going to create. And then when it comes to touch points that are only with me, we have the one-to-ones and personal chats. So the one-to-ones that are once a month, and the personal chats that are just generally on WhatsApp to check how is the situation, if in case you need support, and so on. And then we go to the last part, which is the one of most important measures, especially why? Because you need to keep them in consideration while you're planning, and planning is coming up. So when it comes to these measures, we also talked about them in the JD part. So we have percentage of talent capacity, which is the number of people in the LC. We have percentage of retention rate, so the percentage of people that are staying in the LC. And then we have percentage of team starting implementation, which is super important, and percentage of members achieving their goals. And then we have the number of IXP approvals and pipeline covered. So how many people are applying for the number of positions that there are. So is it one person for each position? Is it two people for each position? And so on. So these are things that you need to keep into consideration and that you need to prioritize when it comes to planning and understanding how to, what are the things that you want to focus on the most. As you know, this year, that we are working to improve the retention rate and the members achieving their goals. And for this, basically, we are tackling all the other measures, and the end measures is mostly this. So yes, when it comes to the most important measures, these are the 6 ones that you need to keep into consideration. And we have timeline. When it comes to the timeline, this is something that you saw already, but I put it in a bit of another way so that you can understand exactly what are the things that are in front of you. So when it comes to the timeline, right now we are here. we are here, we're having results elevation, the performing team standards, and also there is engagement survey running, and we have performance management going on, reward and recognition, and then succession is coming up, because we are going to have new team leaders very soon. And then we have the part of closing team standards that then is going to come up in January. And in January, we'll also have recruitment, so the part of GET. And then we are going to start again with the team cycle that starts with building. Okay, and now what is ahead of you exactly? So ahead of you there is IXP campaign that is ongoing, so that you're seeing how it's being done. And then we have team leader selection that is going to be in December. We have RXP that is going to be slightly after, and reallocation that will also go on in December, and recruitment that is happening in January, and onboarding that is starting after recruitment. So these are the things that you need to keep in mind that are ahead of you. And I want to just close with a reminder to look at these two booklets that are the one of team standard and the one of TM processes, because you really need to make sure that you have this knowledge covered. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to approach me at any moment. I'm always open for it. So yes, write to me individually, or also you can comment on the Facebook post. So thank you so much. I hope it was useful for you, and I cannot wait to see you. Bye.